public speaking. Yeah, for a lot of us, just hearing those two words is enough to make our palms sweat. But what if I told you that you could turn that fear into your single most powerful tool for influence? In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how to do that. And we'll start with a feeling I bet is pretty familiar. Okay, picture this. You're up next to present. The room goes quiet, every single eye is on you, and it's your turn. You try to take a deep breath to calm down, but instead, that familiar wave of panic just starts to wash over you. Sound familiar? Yeah, you are definitely not alone. Your heart starts pounding against your ribs, your voice feels like it's about to crack, and all those brilliant points you had perfectly lined up, poof, they've just vanished. It literally feels like a catastrophe is just moments away. You know, this isn't just a case of the nerves. It actually has a name, glossophobia. It's a recognized form of social anxiety, and the biology behind it is actually pretty fascinating. Your amygdala, which is kind of like your brain's alarm system, sees that audience and thinks, threat. So it floods your body with fight or flight hormones. It's a totally primal reaction. But the good news is, we can learn to manage it. But here's the thing. On the other side of all that anxiety, there's an incredible payoff. So let's talk about why pushing through that feeling is one of the single best investments you can make in yourself. I mean, think about it. Being able to get your ideas across clearly, that's not just about acing a meeting. It can literally fast-track your entire career. It's the bedrock of great leadership, it builds a kind of self-confidence you can't get anywhere else, and it gives you the real-world power to persuade people and inspire actual change. Okay, so how do we actually start to tame this fear? It all starts with one huge mindset shift, a single idea that changes the whole game. And that idea is this. Your speech, it's not about you. This, right here, is the secret sauce. See, when we're nervous, all our focus is inward, right? We're just thinking, oh my gosh, what are they going to think of me? The second you flip that focus outward to being of service to your audience, the fear just starts to shrink. You go from being this nervous performer to a confident guide. And to be a good guide, you've got to know who you're guiding. What's their background? What do they really care about? How much do they already know about your topic? And what are their biases coming in? Answering these questions lets you build a bridge right from your message into their world. All right, so you know your audience. Now, where are you taking them? That's what we call your specific purpose. In this GPS analogy, it's perfect. It's not just your general topic. It's the exact spot on the map you want them to land on after they've heard you. What do you want them to think or feel or do? Okay, so you've got your audience and your destination plugged into the GPS. Now it's time to build the car that's going to get them there, the speech itself. And let me tell you, a clear structure is absolutely non-negotiable. Pretty much every great presentation you've ever seen follows this classic 3-act structure. And there's a good reason for that. It's how our brains are wired to process stories. You hook them at the start, you deliver the goods in a logical way, and then you end with a conclusion so powerful it sticks with them long after you're done. So that intro, it has 3 really important jobs to do. First up, you gotta hook them with a great story, a surprising fact, or a question they can't help but want the answer to. Next, you have to immediately answer that question that's in everybody's head. So what? Why should I care? And finally, give them a roadmap. Tell them exactly what your main point is. Now, for the body of your speech, especially if you're trying to persuade someone, there's this amazing framework that's been working for over 2,000 years, thanks to Aristotle. Ethos is all about credibility. Why should they listen to you? Logos is the logic, the facts, the data, the solid reasoning. And pathos, that's the appeal to emotion that makes your message truly hit home. All right, so your message is crafted. It's brilliant. But guess what? That's only half the battle. Because how you deliver that message is what truly makes it come alive. And that all starts with your voice. First up, volume. If you're too loud, you can come off as aggressive. Too quiet, and your brilliant ideas get lost. The real key here is projection. You want to try speaking from your diaphragm, not just your throat. That way you can fill the room with a confident, clear tone without ever having to shout. All right, next, let's talk pitch. Nothing, and I mean nothing, will put an audience to sleep faster than a monotone voice. When you vary the highs and lows, you create interest, you convey emotion. Just think of it like the melody of your speech. It's what makes you sound passionate instead of robotic. Okay, what about your pace? How fast or slow you talk really sets the whole vibe. You can speed up a bit to show excitement, but when you get to a point that you really want them to remember, you slow right down.
That variation is what keeps them on the edge of their seat.
And now for my favorite and probably the most underrated tool in the entire toolbox, the pause. Seriously, a well-timed moment of silence can be more powerful than anything you say. It adds drama, it gives people a second to digest a big idea. The trick is just resisting the urge to fill it with uhs and ums.
But of course, it's not just about your voice, is it? Your body is sending a message the entire time you're up there. Standing tall and confident, using natural gestures to emphasize your points, and making eye contact to build trust, these things are what truly connect you to your audience.
But here's a really important heads up. Those nonverbal cues are not universal, not even close. Take the OK sign. In many Western countries, it means everything's great. But you do that in Brazil? Whoa, it's a seriously offensive gesture.
And it's not just that one. I mean, a head nod, that's universal for yes, right? Nope. In places like Bulgaria and Turkey, it actually means no. It's just a huge reminder that you have to know your audience's cultural context, inside and out.
So what does this all boil down to? Learning to speak in public, it's so much more than just getting over a fear or trying to get a promotion. It's about having the power to share ideas that actually matter and to motivate people to create real, lasting change. It's the skill that lets you take all that knowledge, all that passion you have inside you, and actually give it a voice. So, in the end, the real question isn't, are you scared? The real question is, who needs to hear your message?